Alright, Steve James. Let's look at the game. Styles vs. Malphite. This is a pretty big counter pick, I'd say. Very, very nice matchup. Alright, let's look at the game. Map's very big. Nice. I'm going to make sure that you're actually aware of what's happening on the map if your map is this big. Full clearing. Everything looks normal in the full clear. Oh, video's buffering. Sorry. Don't know why. Alright, here we go. Full clearing. Oh, and now the quality is shit. Awesome. Sorry. Give me a second. Okay. Full clear down. Looks like Bot Crab has been gone, so it looks like looks like both jungles full clear down. So you can say your Gromp is synced with this Gromp, your wolves with his wolves, etc., etc. Malphite shows up again. When you see this crab is gone, you shouldn't be surprised that Malphite's here because you should know he has to be here. You can also tell because he just killed it. You could tell because the bar above the Scuttle's head is basically full. This looks a bit. I thought it was my stuff buffering, but I think everything looks a bit laggy. Being 1-for-1, not bad. I'm happy with that. Go back to our full clear. Get crab, now do Gromp, wolves. So this is pretty big information here. So again, you should know that he full cleared down, right? Because he was on bot crab. So your Gromp with his Krugs, your wolves with his Raptors. What that means is when your Gromp respawns, his Krugs respawn. When your wolves respawn, his Raptors respawn. When your Raptors respawn, his wolves respawn. And when your Krugs respawn, his Gromp probably respawns, right? In this case, you see Malphite not, chasing down this Cassin. So it looks like he skipped his Krugs and his Raptors, and he just, respawned from when you guys killed him, and he just ran straight mid to fight this Cassin. Another way to reinforce this is when we press tab here, he has 28 CS, right? As you can tell, you also have 28 CS. 28 CS is 6 camps plus a scuttle. Each camp is 4 CS. So when you do all 6 camps, that's 24 CS. And then a crab is 4 more, so that's 28. So he did all 6 of his first camps, red, Krug, Raptors, Wolves, Blue, Gromp, and then he did the Krabby Patty bot, as you know. And that means him showing right now means he skipped Krugs and Raptors. Because if he did his Krugs, he'd have 32 CS. If he did his Krugs and his Raptors, he'd have 36. Since he has 28, he just skipped both camps and ran straight mid, right? And now we see Malphite is bot again. So what can you do here? You can go and take his entire top side. His Raptors are up, his Krugs are up. You know he's not there because you see him on the mini-map right now chasing your bot lane. Same way how you saw him chasing the Kassadin, right? So, first of all, which I skipped over, anytime you have two charges to smite, you should smite. You have 2 charges, you should be smiting the Scromp right now, right? B, same with wolves. You have 2 charges, you should be smiting wolves. And C, you know he's boss side. You know his entire top side's up, so we should be taking his top side. You can't. This guy can't, and then this guy can't skip all his camps to gank and then gank again and then do dragon and not get punished. And the way you punish him is you take his Raptors and his Krugs, and now you're not up 2 camps, you're up 4 camps because those are plus 2 camps for you and minus 2 for him. And 4 camps is around 500 gold and a whole level of XP, which is obviously if you get that over your opponent, you are just hard winning jungle. So I think this is a really big missed opportunity to get a really big lead and punish him for him skipping camps. Okay. So that's what I say was so far the first problem of this game. We go for a top gank. I have no problem with this. We have no camps up, nothing better to do. Let me watch this. Okay, before I talk about the mechanics of this, not to keep rubbing salt into the wound, but if you took his top camps, he would never in a million years be level 6 right now. He'd be level 5 because as you can tell, you barely just hit level 6, right? If you did minus 2 camps from yourself, you would be level 5 right now, right? So in the same logic, if you just hit level 6, he probably also just hit level 6. So if you took those 2 camps from him that I was talking about, he'd be level 5 right now, and you guys would never in a million years die here. First of all. Second of all, now let's actually look at the mechanics of the clip. I think you should just EE. I know here you ER'd. But thing is, when he lands, as you saw, when you set ult, he's unstoppable. Same way how you see how you're unstoppable right now. So when you E him here, it doesn't actually CC him because he's unstoppable. So the only way to avoid this is just EE right now. And then you may be like, oh, if I E him right now, then he'll just, why can't he just ult me? He can. But if he ults you, then you'll just ult him again. It's kind of like a game of chicken. Whoever ults first loses. Because whoever ults last is unstoppable. You know what I mean? So I think here you just EE. If he doesn't get hit, if he doesn't ult, then you'll EE ult, right? And if he does ult it, then you'll just ult after him, and it's still gonna be chill. So I think that's how you play it mechanically better. And B, you could have played it mechanically worse and still won if Malphite was 5. And now you went from potentially you could have had a huge lead in jungle to now you are obviously hard losing. He got the first dragon. Now he is up kills. Now he's even CS. He never fell behind because you never took his camps. And now we're playing from the backstep, you know. And it's funny how like one little mistake, I guess now it's two mistakes because you didn't play the fight mechanically perfectly, can make the game kind of fall on its head. But now I would say you obviously have a massive disadvantage. Get one grub, then we look top lane to kill this guy, and we go back to the grubs. This looks really good. Go to our bot camps. This is good. We see Malphite top. I think we should be looking to base ASAP. I know you killed him. Congrats. We have so much money. Like you could base right now, and then go mid. I think if you look, you should be looking mid earlier. Like I think if you watch mid, if you look at mid map, it looks like Malphite just flash ulted Kassadin. If you see that happen earlier, you could have been. Like second happens, you base right now. Because the second you see him get flash ulted, that means he's dead. Because he's obviously under tower, so he's taking like 3 tower shots while being Malphite ulted. And if you base, you just open through mid. But it's chill. Looks like we kill this guy. Get a kill. Now we should just immediately base again. You have 2.6 thousand gold. This is way too much money. You gotta base. Okay, base. Look mid, get a kill. Nice job. This guy TP's in. Run away, because that's pretty strong. Nice E. Flashes W. No, I think you're playing this mechanically well, in my opinion. Malphite kills mid. Besides the two mistakes I've noted, which is the mechanics in the top gank and the not taking his thing, which are big mistakes. I think so far you haven't really made any big ones. I think at this point your team is just a bit worse than the enemy team, which happens. It is a team game after all. Still winnable though. Just need to get picks. You are individually strong, so you have to play off your own lead. Also think now you have Riftmaker is 950. You have it in base. I would immediately base right now, especially when when your team is this behind and you're the only strong member. It means the only way you guys are ever winning fights is based off your individual strength. So you need to make sure you're at your strongest peak at all times. Because if you're only winning a fight when is off your strength, and you have the ability to be stronger right now, if you base right now, then if you stay, then you always have to take the stronger route. You know, if you had a 10-0 top laner, you don't have to always be at your strongest because you're using his strength. They're not using your own. But when you're using your own strength, you have to be at your strongest at all times. So here, I'm terrified if you take a river fight in like the next 30 seconds while having a whole ass Riftmaker in your inventory and you lose the fight. I'm gonna ask you, would you lose this fight if you had Riftmaker? And if that, you know what I mean? And you do not want me to ask you that. So okay, nice. We base. We have right item. Nice. Defend mid tower again. We don't want to do this, but we kind of have to. Otherwise, we're just giving them tower for free. So I understand. This is like the shit job. Like you got the shit job because your teammates don't want to be here, but someone has to do it. So no, this is good. You're burning a sums. You're not dying. You defend the tower. Now you're fighting them. I think this is really good. I think you could play this a bit more aggressively. Like here, you know Ezreal knows sums, right? Because you see him use his. Let me see. You see him E here. Now you see him barrier here, and now you see him flash here, right? So you know he's no sums. As no sums, right? And when you see his HPs like this, does he not? Does this guy not literally die just your W auto? At the very least, WQ auto. 100% he does, right? So at this point, when you see him walk this way, right? Couldn't you just literally and Karma just shielded him, so he has no flash, no barrier, no Karma shield. Couldn't you just literally walk here and then just flash auto W auto, right? I also think you're nowhere close to death. You're above half HP. Plus, when you W, you're gonna go to like this HP, right? And this is, and when you're at 75%, there's no way he kills you in less than 4 seconds. Agreed? He's not like a burst champion. So if you, let's say he takes 6 seconds to kill you, if you're standing still, well, your E's up in 4. So if the auto W auto doesn't kill him for some reason, I guarantee you your E auto will, right? Not even the second E hitting him, just the E auto, right? Will kill him. So I think you could be playing this a bit more aggressively. I think this is a free Ezreal kill, maybe, which also would save Sivir's life, right? And this is actually big because I normally would say don't flash for a kill, but in this case, it's not just a kill you're flashing for. If you kill him, you're guaranteeing Dragon, because at this point in the game, death timers are like 30 seconds, right? So if you kill him, Sivir will be Ezreal will be dead for Dragon, it spawns in 30 seconds, and your Sivir will be alive for Dragon, so you'll have a 45. And there's nothing more OP in League Legends than number advantage fighting. But instead, here Sivir dies. Actually, sorry, death timers are 33 seconds. And instead here Sivir dies, which basically guarantees that you're going to lose this dragon because, back to what I said, number of benches OP. And in this case, Ezreal also had a shutdown, so it's also he's not just worth a random kill. He's worth a double 2 kills plus you get the dragon, which is a way back into the game. So I think again you have to realize I am the only strong guy on my team. I have to use my strength. I definitely can't be shy of using my strength either. I think if you play that fight more like a man, more aggressive. I know it's a risk, but I think when the game is in a poor set like this, you kind of have to take risks. Then by killing him, saving Sivir, you'd fight this dragon. And now at this point, you shouldn't. There's no world you should ever fight this dragon. Very simply, it's 45. Your AD carry is dead. Theirs isn't. This is the point where you should give this dragon, trade, take his top camps, maybe play the kill, set on side lane, maybe play to hit top tower. Um, there's no reason you should ever fight this dragon. All it does is you die, and then Melio dies. Okay, Malphite's stealing it. I mean, Mundo's stealing it is insane, but this is obviously, like, Malphite's just bad. He just missed it or something, right? But yeah, I think that's them. The fact that they all died here afterwards is insane. Mundo just went crazy mode. But I think again, it's not about the execution. It's about the play in mind. I think the play in mind here is poor. I doubt you're gonna. It's favorable, high chance to win a 45 fight with 1,000 gold in your inventory, and while your team is also behind in the game state. But that ended up being really good. You guys got a bunch of kills. Mundo's pretty shred now. You got the dragon as well, and now your entire team died. Not your fault. I have no idea what the fuck your team is doing. This is the part of the league where it's just a team game. I would say you could protect them, but I see no reason for you to be topping around. There's no objective up, there's no tower up, there's no camps up. I think you farming your camps here makes complete sense to me. I think the one thing you could do is spam danger ping here. Caution, danger, I'm not there, which you kind of did a little bit, so even then I'm not going to blame you. So this is part of the game. It is a team game. I think a Baron, and now I think the game's over. When you get 20-minute Baron, the game is just so hard to play. You're trying your best to get picks, but I think Baron is too much. So yeah, I don't think this game was necessarily your fault you lost. I do definitely think this game is warped. I think you had 3 opportunities to change this game and win it. First one is the early game. You could take his entire top side. You would guarantee hit 6 first. He would be stuck on level 5. Then you have the entire map to map control. You could force place. He can't. Or if he tries to match you, he'll just lose because you'll have no advantage. 2 is a top gank. Where I think that if you played it mechanically differently, you'd win it. Or again, if you did number 1, then you'd by direct result win number 2 as well. Then you'd win the fight because Malphite wouldn't have been 6. And number 3 is this little jungle fight. I think if you could have killed Ezreal, saved Sivir, got the shutdown, then the dragon fight could have been harder winning. Or instead of just like you guys kind of went even, maybe slightly lost it, you guys would have like aced them, got mid tower, got bot tower, blah blah blah, and that could have been like a really big, huge way back into the game. So. If you have any questions, you can message me on Discord. That's Chat Jungle in the Jungle Kingdom. You should see it on the right hand side, either in the admin tab or in the coaches tab. Um, but that's all I really have for you. Other than those 3 things, I think that your team kind of just played worse. You did have control over the game if you did those 3 things better, but it wasn't like you so lost your team in the game or anything. So yeah, that's all I got for you.